What's going on, everyone? Shauna Sharfstein here with Remax Plus. Since everything has been going crazy lately and the mortgage industry is changing day by day, week by week, I wanted to bring my fiance, Jeff Kane, who is the Vice President of House Capital Corporation here in Rochester, on to just talk quickly a little bit about what is going on in the mortgage industry right now.
Hi, Shauna.
Hi. All right, so anything you want to say before we get started?
Well, I enjoy quarantining with you.
Okay, me too.
And I hope everybody out there is healthy and staying safe. And but yeah, the mortgage stuff. There's a lot to talk about. What do you want to know?
All right, good. First question. So I know there are a lot of misconceptions going around right now in the mortgage business. So do you just want to talk about a couple of those misconceptions that people are hearing or things that might be circling around right now?
Yeah, so definitely. I mean, we're getting a ton of phone calls as a mortgage broker, and I can talk a little bit about the differences between a bank and a broker. But we're getting a ton of phone calls and seeing people post and basically just saying what their particular lender is doing or what they're hearing maybe from their realtor. And there's a lot of, you can't get a government loan anymore, an FHA loan, or you can't do anything if your credit score is below a 660, or so these rumors are floating around, but the reality is they're probably true to the people that are putting that out there. I don't think anyone's blatantly lying, but it's not a fair blanket statement for the industry. I mean, we're still funding down to 580. We've got 20 lenders, and some of them are doing that. Some of them are pulling away. Some of them are, kind of as business as usual as you can be. So
okay, all right, so just so everyone can catch that, it's not true that FHA isn't funding loans anymore. It might be specific to certain lenders, but we have someone right here who is still doing them, and they don't have necessarily all of the credit score changes that a lot of the other people have right now. So the second thing, and you touched on this, but what are the benefits right now, especially of working with a mortgage broker versus a banker or a traditional bank?
Well, I've been doing this is going into my 15th year here, and I've got a lot of friends in the industry, and I do feel bad for the people that are at an individual lender where they can't. If the lender says, "Hey, our score is 660 and that's it," or we're pulling out altogether, which we've had, we're not immune to that. We've had lenders do that as well. Some of our lenders have said, "Hey, we're shutting off, no more new loans. If your loan's not locked, then there's nothing you can do with us," and that's the advantage of being a broker. We've got 20 different outlets.
Okay.
We can quickly move to someone else. So for my realtor friends out there and next to me here, I would suggest in this market you don't write short-term contracts. Don't write 30 days anymore. 30 days used to be the norm 30 days ago, but now you can't do it. You need time to be able to maneuver in the event that somebody else pulls out. So I would say 45 days at a minimum, 60 if you can get it. Not to say you couldn't get it done in 30, but if you have any bump along the way, you're just going to want a little room to wiggle there. So
okay, awesome. And then everyone is always asking this question, of course. I know it's highly subjective and it changes day to day, but can you speak to what the rates are like at the current moment, or at least today?
So I'll do another shameless broker plug here since you're giving me the opportunity. Rates are always the question. Everybody calls and says, "What's the rate?" And a lot of people don't understand that really, to a degree, that's a choice. Are you willing to pay points? It's very situational what your interest rate would be, but we've got lenders that are in this environment a full point away from each other in interest rate, which is just unheard of. Usually you'll see an eighth, a quarter, something like that, but to be a full point off is another advantage of having those several options to go to. So I will tell you, our strong lenders right now on the both conventional and FHA are in the low threes. I did a 3 1/4 and a 3 1/8 before you made me come do this. So.
Okay, so it sounds like they're still pretty low. And then going on that, obviously it's still a good time to buy since the rates are low, but it sounds like it is still also a good time to refinance, maybe for those people out there that have a higher interest rate.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's just a math problem, figuring out what's the cost of refinancing because it's not free. You can roll it in. And another misconception with purchasing is that the market has changed to these huge down payments. You can still get into a home with little to no money. That hasn't gone anywhere.
Okay.
And with regard to refinancing, if you're anywhere in the mid fours and you owe over 100 grand, 150 grand, it's worth considering. But it is a math problem. How long are you going to be in the house? You're generally increasing your balance when you refinance unless you want to bring those closing costs to the table. But it's a simple thing to just look at, see if it makes sense. And maybe you're going from a 30-year to a 15-year. Maybe you need some cash out to do some home improvements. Whatever the case may be, it's different. Everything's very, very situational. So there's no blanket answers to any of it. But I would look at it right now for sure.
Okay, yeah, awesome. So it sounds like if you guys are anywhere in the fours right now, and you've had thoughts or have questions about if refinancing makes sense for you, reach out to this guy and he can run the scenario and all the numbers and see if it's something that makes sense for you. So that's all for today. I wanted to keep this pretty short. We will be doing this again next week since things are changing so often. So if you have any specific questions for either of us, drop them below and we will answer them next week, or feel free to shoot me a message with any questions you have and we will include them in the next video. So thank you for coming on here and answering these questions. And we will see everyone next week. Thanks, guys.
Bye.